Hello and welcome to Stocks Advisor channel, yet our channel where looking for interesting buy opportunities for US-based stocks. Today we will talk about Cloudflare Inc. traded at New York Stock Exchange, ticker name NET. Well, the reason we talk about NET is because today it was actually on the top of news. It has made incredible high white candle today. And of course the question now is where it's going to go, because after having 23% rise during one day trading session and actually having a wave in the beast mode now after the magic cross up took place 4 trading sessions ago. Now the question is, what's the future for NET? Where is it going to go? Is it going to grow further, or a severe correction and actual decline will take place? But to understand this, let's do a general analysis first for the NET. So what is important to see here and to note that actually NET was growing very nicely after COVID days, and starting from actually April, May, you can see a clear positive trend formed here, and it's going very nicely, being confirmed very nicely. And then what happened, actually the trend went to kind of zigzag behavior, so like this. And now let's see what does it mean for us. So the first trend we can call like trend 1, then the correction trend, trend 2, and then the trend 3. So actually starting from middle of April, we saw a clear wave-like formation of the trend, also using moving average 20 here as additional support lines, all the way like 4 months until mid of August. And by the way, here we have 3 moving averages depicted, being green, blue and red moving averages, 20, 50 and 200 correspondingly. So coming back to the analysis, trend 1 was confirmed until beginning of 10ish of August. But then what happened, also looking at RSI, was clearly declining here. We saw that the trend 1 was broken towards trend 2, and we see the wave actually went down. And then it observed its clear support line on these levels, which were corresponding to previously going to the boost mode of the waves that were observed at trend 1 in the middle of June. But also what is important here, while going in the boost mode and RSI wise being over both area in the middle of June, we clearly see also here the increase of the overall volume wave being sold, and of course MACD was shifting from negative to positive wave. So it was clearly technical bullish situation, very strong one. Also it resulted in a huge volume of trades, therefore formed very strong support line here that later worked actually in 8th of September as inflection point and the changer from trend 2 to trend 3. And then the trend 3 also having here actually a trend 3 started to go up, also being clearly classically a reversal pattern based on technical analysis, because on RSI we were in oversold area here clearly. We saw that MACD wave was in the minimum position. And also what is important here, and I'm glad to show it to you, it's so-called delayed magic cross down. So actually it's a magic cross down when moving average 20 hits from the top moving average 50, but you can see it here. But actually the price did its downwards action already before. So let's try to draw it again. Yeah, but the price did decline already before. So this situation is known as a delayed magic cross down, which works as a bullish indicator temporarily. Although magic cross down is overall bearish indicator, but delayed one is momentarily bullish, and momentarily means that momentum is positive. And indeed we saw this momentum positive was like having place almost 1.5 weeks. Then we saw a slight decline here in somewhere 15th of September, but immediately we regained our pressure and positive pressure, and the price really went up, also followed by RSI going upwards nicely and clearly. Then what happened actually, moving average 20 was returning, of course. Still moving average 50 and 200 were all positive, because the price action was not enough to pull the really to reverse the pattern, but also these waves that we saw the changer of the trends here, the volume waves, I mean, they were significant, and they therefore formed a very nice support levels, and here as well. So then what happened is that trend 3 started to form, and it was linearly growing up, not really without waves, but just linearly, meaning that the price action was waiting for something indeed, because a lot of volumes were traded over and people were waiting and not really selling, because overall chart was rather positive or neutral than negative. So all these big volumes were not traded and they were waiting, because they formed here also on the maximums of those waves a very nice, it might look like a resist, but actually it was like a starter point or base holder point, you can call it, when big holders that appeared before, they didn't still want to sell, because on the waves, they took those waves of volatility between middle of June and middle of September, didn't want to sell, waiting for higher price action. So they also kept a lot of volume in hands. And then what happened, indeed the price was going up slightly, and then we reached this inflection point. We saw very interesting situation that we have here, the dark candle looking like, okay, maybe it will be indeed this line, let's call it R1 line, would work as a kind of resist or a ceiling and drag the price down, but it coincided with news, and news came today actually that for net there were sellings, and the analysis of the previous periods when the price actually was kind of volatile in this corridor between R1 and S1. The overall behavior of company was very positive. So this shoot the price really up today, and we saw 23%. So these several days, it's really expectation of news, and we see the price really going crazy high. And if we would speak of waves, we don't even have a wave. It's just very strong behavior going extremely overbought based off RSI. It's 85.81, almost 86. Very high for this stock historically, especially. But now what happened? This news that caused this price, also see this incredible volume, incredibly high volume that we did not see ever before. So these were the maximums before, but we never saw that huge trading. So what happened? Based on the previous positive news, the price went really high. So meaning that the company was very well behaving in this area, but now if you look carefully, it's 23%, depending where you enter the wave here, it's actually going up to 40, 50, or sometimes even 80% if you started from S1 line. So the question is it really that well? Is it really going to hold it? What's going to happen here? Well, looking at the candle itself, it's very possible that tomorrow we will have either a shooting star or an evening star behavior, or something like doji on the top or reddish on the top within the top and middle of this candle. So if we would draw those patterns, it would be something either a shooting star kind of candle, or it would be somewhere in between actually on these levels. If this would be the level, it would be in between either the red one or would be something dark. Actually also could be something dark on top like this. So starting higher than declining. But it is important to understand that at these prices, the news of course are good, but these are not really something that sends the price that high. So this volume, what we can see here formed, it is actually a classical bag holder formation. And this would mean again that significant amount of volume that was traded here, here, and here actually moved all the way here, and we see a new bag holders formation on these levels. So this R1 S1 level is now going higher and forming a higher channel. But the price can't hold there that long, because in R1 S1 it was held also by the fact that RSI was quite low, but now RSI is too high. So we need time to consume RSI, so to develop people who enter new to the stock. If you would look to definition of RSI, you will understand what I mean. So it would mean that the strong correction is there to happen. So tomorrow still might be volatility, but a strong correction is to happen, and the price should actually decline with volatilities. Now the question is, where would be the nice entry point? Of course, the first entry point with 1 to 2 or even 1 to 3 average down possibilities would be, of course, exactly at the R1 level, because we know the back holders formation started here, so there would be some significant volatility on this point, or rebounds you can play. Then the second one would be, of course, on another volatility level, to be in the middle of the channel, R1 S1. So if we would draw this, would be this level. This would be the second entry point with average 1 to 1, and then the last biggest portion of average down would be advised to keep somewhere between these levels and all the way to S1, because this could have indeed a very severe decline, also based by a short selling, overreaction upwards, so overreaction downwards. And then here we see, if ever this price goes to those levels, this is extremely strong 1 and 2, but it's not given we go, but just to know that it will almost never go, from at least technical point of view, below these two levels. So let's call them then S2, and this would be S3. And this blue line, we call it then support line. So now you know how net will behave. That's the situation for this stock for the moment. And having these three entries with average down 1 to 1, 1 and 2, you can make your reversal play. Of course, after that, the price should go higher, but then the future of the stock will be defined by its further behavior and further news. We will definitely come back to this one to see how it behaves. Having said that, good luck with net. Also, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. This way you will not miss new videos and new interesting discussions, opportunities for US-based stocks.